Here is the Hampton H1. This was lent to me by my friend Jonathan, and I had never heard of this watch until he brought it to my attention. It's a micro brand over in the UK, I guess, somewhere. I was trying to do a little bit of research on it, but just wanted to show you guys this real quick because I don't want to sound like I'm gaga over it or anything, but I'm excited to see a watch like this. I don't know. Let me run down maybe you guys have already seen this or you already know about it, but it's a 200 meter, the screw down crown. It's titanium. It has this crazy bracelet with the screws on both sides, which I'm sure is a nightmare to size, but it's super comfortable and super flexible. It has a matte black ceramic bezel, nice 120 click. I mean, it's executed really good for that. It has a domed AR sapphire crystal. It has the Seiko NH35A movement in it, so it has the date window. And it's hard to tell, but you can kind of see the dial and where the indices are. I don't know if I can find a good spot, but it's a sandwich dial. So there's cutouts, and then there's a layer underneath, and those are lumed. I cannot find anywhere what lume they use. I don't think it's super great or anything. So I mean, maybe that's a downfall. It has a nice case back, solid end links. It just seems like it has pretty much every box checked that most guys look at when they're looking for a diver. It's 41 millimeter, and the cogs of the bezel actually stick out a little bit more, so it's a little bit wider at that point, but it's when I can get my mic in between there really good. I think the case is actually a touch under 41, so just say roughly 41. It is 13.6 millimeter thick, 22 millimeter lugs. Bracelet tapers down to just under 20 millimeter down here. That's not this width, but the actual length. And it's 48 millimeter from lug to lug. And you had drilled lugs. And signed crown. Like it doesn't stop. The crazy part is, Hampton did this on a, crowdfunding on Indiegogo, which is really similar to Kickstarter. I have never used Indiegogo. I've used Kickstarter in the past. If you go to buy this watch, they're selling this for $199. $199. I think Jonathan said by the time he got it landed to him in the United States, and then it ended up being a $220 total cost. So when you take all of that in consideration, $220. And I can't help but think that the white and the blue kind of reminds me of another large micro brand that did a certain color scheme that way. I'm waiting. You think you know who I'm talking about? Steinhardt? They did a similar color combination on a titanium watch. And this thing is light. And I've had a bunch of titanium watches. This one is right there on par. And Jonathan's wore this. So, because there is some scratches on the clasp, but on the case and on the bracelet, it's pretty dang good shape. I don't know how much he's worn this, but it's in really good shape. So I think I'm going to go ahead and say that if you're looking for a titanium dive watch and you're like a little on the fence, I think this is a safe bet. I think buy this one because the buy-in is so cheap. There's nobody else that has anywhere near that price for this quality, for everything this packs into the watch. So like currently on eBay, there's one listed in Europe somewhere. I forgot to look where, and it's converted over to US dollars is like $260 plus shipping. If you look at what one has actually sold for on eBay in the US, one sold for $190 plus $13.60 for shipping. So what's that? Just over the 200 mark. So, and I don't know, I didn't look elsewhere to see if there's any more floating out there for sale. There's a good chance that this one might actually be for sale. So I don't know what the resale is going to do, but it doesn't seem like it's like tanking or anything. Like I'm half tempted to see if I can score this and put it in my watch box just on a whim, and later on maybe I'll wear it. Titanium's cool too because it's not as subjective to temperature extremes like stainless steel does. So when I go out in the winter, a lot of times I'll throw a titanium watch on and it doesn't feel cold. Like it just feels neutral. That's on my 7.25, maybe a little under 7.25 wrist. And oh man, it feels great. It looks great. This is such a good package. For $200, that's insane. And don't you think? Can you tell me another one that does this? I mean, because holding this in my hand, I'm telling you, this thing is actually really well built. This is a nice watch. I'm shocked that it's only $200. And there's a super minimal amount of play. It's not super consistent on the whole rotation, but it's good. It's really good. And I love the baby blue accents. They have a few other color combinations too, but I think Jonathan chose right. I think this is the one to get. And it has the date, and it has that depth in there. I mean, you see that even in the date window, you have the depth because of the sandwich dial. And then the indices are kind of hard to tell, but they are. So let me know what you think on this, guys.